Right. Good evening. Are we live? I will find out in a minute. We're starting a new system. We're using new, different equipment. So, I don't know if we're live yet. I know now, in case we're not seeing anybody. 3 people. Right, it's picking up. It's opening up, and sorry for running late. Yeah. So this is the new system. Tonight is Tuesday, the 29th of August, 2 days before Happy Independence. 55 years have passed. How you feel? Right. So we're inside, and give me some feedback on the. Last night was a smaller screen, tonight is a bigger screen. Give me some feedback on the view. Let me check and see how it looks. It look the same to me on this video. Yeah, so let's not get confused. The issues tonight are not as in a gear. People ask me why I looked last night like I was distracted. It's not that I'm distracted. We have so much stuff going on, and all days meetings after meetings and planning after planning to get stuff ready. And I'm trying to find a song. I think I'm gonna need a director, you know. I'm gonna need somebody to help me. I understand now why Ian Allen has a director, because it's easier to have somebody do this stuff for you while you're doing it. While I'm sharing the video with all the groups and all the threads, take some music. I also getting accustomed to seeing my face that big in front of me because it's on an iPad on a rack. Anyway, share it. Let's see you outside. People keep asking me what the cup say. Yeah. We're on with the man. It was the rock with the iron gun and fall because the vibration was very well in. When the iron fall. How it look? It look normal? Turn it on. I guess we'll see after. Engine room is on the way that's caused the back canal. The man is the body, but the rhythm is harder the thing. Engine room. Is it looking different to you? Different good, different bad, different better? I'm just sharing the video. You could do the same in the meantime. Check your grandmother, the neighbor next door. If the times didn't change up, or now we are still being big. Hear Chili talk now. Hear what he said? She used to open the church door just to pray on my head. Oh, my granddaughter beats for a steel man. Your daddy would have been so dread. But when you see her in the grave, you just have to take again and take it out on the street. The engine room is done with the peace and frustration. Nearly every old man will tell you that his in-laws were outlaws. Yes, the engine room is the healing of the nation. Sometimes others just get laughed at the very thing just because, you know. They have the drummer itching to be well bred. The cover man I knows, the pelting blows. I'm sorry for the drum skin. Me and all in backward. May I end up by the ears. 2, 3 cowbell man, the bell in the hand and a tassa man pumping. Well, you can't ask for more. Well, maybe our next rung a beer. And we could go all day as the band play and the people feeling sweet. Right. So we inside. Yeah, the messages. Keeping on top of the messages. Now I want to be honest, most evenings
I am very, very clear about what I'm coming to talk to you about. But I have absolutely no idea tonight what we should be discussing. Today is such an upside down day. It opened with the arrest of an Attorney General. An ex-Attorney General was arrested. Anna Ram Logan was arrested this morning, and there's so much talk come out from that one time. I'm hearing all kind of drama. Now, this is an issue that I'm close to because I was Gary Griffith's communication advisor. When Gary stood on this matter and said what he said, when Gary became a witness in this matter, it put all of our jobs on the line. And there are two other ministers in the People's Partnership who need a perp walk too. Two of those ministers who did everything in their power to get Gary to recant and to lie on himself and to say that he lied. Because all of this, I mean, I've never seen so many attempts to pervert justice. One of those ministers called me aside and offered me a position because Gary wouldn't lie. So now they call me because I'm the closest thing to Gary in the government, and then I could say Gary lied. So that's 1, 2, 3 steps to pervert the course of justice. And I wondered to myself, how is this government? How is this right, rational? How is this real? How do they get away with this and walk through town normal? Live normal, people talking to them normal. How do people do these things? Let me tell you something again. Vasant Bharat, as Minister of Communication, was he misbehaved in public office when he put out a press release on the government's letterhead that told a lie that he knew was a lie, and it is only when Gary threatened to sue him in the courts that he recanted that release. But that was misbehavior, and Kamala should have fired him. You see, somebody put out a meme today with Kamala praying to the sky that she don't make a jail. Kamala Prasad says I have plenty questions to answer, and this game they play with pixie dust and sprinkling moonbeams as she walks is bullshit. Kamala led one of the most corrupt governments this country ever had, and we cannot forget that. We cannot forget that. This nation is in turmoil tonight for lack of money. For lack of money. Billions of dollars that were stolen under the last government, under the government before. Patrick Manning, may he rest in perpetual turmoil. Patrick Manning was guilty of the most heinous, I mean, the reality of the situation where Patrick Manning is concerned. His government, what took place under, so many messages, what took place under the PNM, under the Patrick Manning PNM, and now, and it's like a race to see who government could be worse. And it looked like that's what's going on. And I'm sorry, because I have to take this message because it's somebody that I wanted to interview. So, give me a minute. Apologies. Sorry about that. I had to take that break. I had to deal with this that was going on. Yeah. So and I'm trying to get somebody, but people are afraid to talk on this issue right now. But today I posted pictures. Today I posted pictures of a former government minister and his houses in Goodwood Park and Shawlands. Goodwood Park and Shawlands. And one for 15.5 million, the other for 17 million. And both of them getting tens of millions of dollars being spent on them, that the project looked that by the time it's done, it will cost over $60 million. One of the houses, the house in Shorelands, was paid for by 3 contractor checks. A contractor that was very close to the People's Partnership under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And this minister needs to be dragged before the Integrity Commission to answer for the $60 million. You can't just have $60 million after you've been a government minister. Where did you get it from? There is no difference between this $60 million and Wave Robinson and the $93,000. They have no difference. And all these people and all of these systems and all of these public officials that have positions in this country need to start doing their jobs. The issue here, when people ask me today, and they say, they arrest Annan as a distraction. If the timing is a distraction, Game of Thrones, House of Cards. But is there any merit to the arrest? Was there reason for, I mean, it's years of investigation. It's years of police investigation. Why did it take so long? Why does a matter take so long to work through our system? I don't know. But he was arrested this morning. What happens now, we will know. But we can't just call every high-level arrest in this country distraction, because the police wouldn't want to do their jobs anymore. The police wouldn't want to do their jobs. We can't politicize every damn thing in a nation that is so freaking corrupt. I had to explain to somebody today what Herbert Volney was fired for. Herbert Volney should be in jail. Herbert Volney misbehaved in public office. Herbert Volney violated the sanctity of the parliament over Section 34. How much, I want to ask questions. Why wasn't there a prosecution? If Kamla Persad-Bissessar felt sure that she could fire Herbert Volney from the government over Section 34 and then move to have him removed from the parliament. If Herbert Volney could have come and apologized and take full responsibility for Section 34, who gave him immunity? Who said, okay, well done? It's like when this next jackass take Clico funds and try to snatch the whole home mortgage bank. When the public outcry, he said, oops, and put it back. You can't put it back. If police hold a man with 2 bags of cricks and a 10 of corn beef eating from Hilo, does he get a chance to go and put it back on the shelf? No. So if it's $100 million home mortgage bank buyout, or if it is misbehaving where the drafting of legislation is concerned to favor finances of a party, police have the same responsibility. And we need to get to there, because our biggest problem is enforcement. Our biggest problem is enforcement. And we need to be very, very, very mindful of that. You cannot have a two-tiered justice system that deals with the lowest class with ferocity and kid gloves for the people on top. It can't be. That cannot be our situation. So what is going on? And it's like the people who are asking me, why I didn't support Watson Duke swim. And I said, I can't believe that to the poor people of Tobago, and I know so many people now whose businesses have had to shut down, they've gone out of business, they've lost their life savings because of the madness of this Keith Rowley government. And the only way they're getting their message out is through a stunt. You're trying to tell me that we're so broken as a nation that there is no authority that Wayne Kubla Singh could have appealed to stop the construction of the highway and weigh the merits of the protest. You're telling me that there is nobody that the people of Tobago, through Watson Duke or anybody else, could lodge a protest and have action taken? I'm asking people, what is the end game of the Watson Duke stunt? Was it? What was the takeaway from it? He made his point. What was the point? Besides bigging up himself for his PSA elections, what else was accomplished? To me, he made a fool of himself. That is supposed to be what passes for leadership in this country in 2017. We're insane. We have to be Completely insane. And a day has to come. And I had to say, now I want to say this, I'm going to have to find a new gym or go to a gym at a different time because now I'm not going to train in the gym. And I need to get myself politically sexy. And all afternoon I'm in the gym because everybody want to raise these issues and they want to ask questions and they want to say, how do we fix this place? Because everybody concerned and they're confused. Trinidadians confused. I said to somebody, and I said it last night in the video, there is nothing Keith Rowley could do. Nothing that the PNM could do. Nothing Rohan Sinaran could do. Nothing. You could be on your 51st Minister of Public Utilities. There is nothing they could do to make people think Kamla Prasad Bisesa, Rudal Munilal, Suraj Ramachan, and the rest of the bandit clan in the UNC is an option for government. Nothing. Nobody. That wound's still fresh. Nobody looking there. Nobody looking there. And somebody asked today, why is the opposition so silent? And I want to know, because you have a role in government. And by now, there should have been a vote of no confidence lodged with the speaker. But since Kamla and Keith meet, nothing. And I'm believing in my heart of hearts that these people are going to conspire to leave government, two-party government. And we must fight that with everything. Somebody sent me something today that when I read it, something about the government have 60 days to lock down place, a limited state of emergency and all that bullshit. I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. I want you to understand, I keep saying this and you need to understand. There are nations where people have had to die for the rights that we take for granted, you know. There are nations where people have had to die for their independence and for their country and for their democracy. We've not had to die yet. But you cannot let any government come into power and usurp the rights of the Constitution. We have to be ready to go out in the street, 1.3 million of us, and shut this country down, you know. Down completely. You cannot let government get away with that. No government, no party, no organization, no gang, no group, nothing must ever be able to usurp the power of the supreme law and your rights. And I say that all the time. The people have rights and the people need to know that. You need to know that. We've seen things pass in this country that no other country would have let pass. No other country would have let pass some of the things. I mean, we have compiled, and I promised to read it, and then it got so long. There's something called the Rogues Gallery, Trinidad and Tobago. There are names etched into infamy. Ishan Steve to O'Halloran. And there are companies that I understand the owner of one of these hardware companies that got all these contracts under Kamla in Panama, waiting for Kamla or the UNC to come back into office. This is insane. You cannot play one for you, one for me with the people's treasury. Somebody asked me today, we're doing this thing called PEP policies at a glance. Because people don't understand what's the difference between what we're doing and what's going on between red and yellow. So I want to explain that again. We've allowed the country to be broken down to the sum of its parts. People are isolated, set apart, and set upon each other. We want to undo that. We say undo and redo. We want to be able to come into office and remove all of the obstacles to progress. We want to rebuild the family and the community as job one. If your family has access to own its own home, if you have access to quality healthcare, affordable food and affordable cost of living, if you have access to good education for your children and security of the person, there's nothing else you need from government. Everything else is gravy. Those 5 things I just listed, you have access to none. The average person in this country will never own a home. Never. Never. You will never own a home. There is nothing you could do when the average price of a home is $2.5 million, $3 million, that the banks will tell you, you need to have $300,000 first. And to qualify for $3 million house, you need to be earning you need to be able to pay $27,000 a month. And to pay $27,000 a month, that must represent 40% of your monthly salary. So that means you and the wife combined have to be earning $75,000. That is the madness of the disconnect. And it is artificial and it is set up that way. There is enough money in unit trust to buy everybody in this country a house. And I'm saying again, we don't want to be handout, we want to be hand up. And everybody who wants to own a home must have the right to own a home, and that's government's first job. Secure the people, put a roof over their head, give them an affordable cost of living where they could feed their family, proper education, proper health care, and get out their way. Get out of the way. I'm learning under the new system. Before I used to get all of the information on the screen. If I don't respond, it's because I'm now learning it. Without home ownership, the country dies. The country is dying. People want to know why Trinidadians are not patriotic. You know why Trinidadians are not patriotic? They have no skin in the game. Done. Yeah, we'll go and wave a flag, drink 2 Guinness, and shout for the Warriors. Okay. Yeah, we'll pretend Night Riders and the bullshit 2020 crap is something to make we feel like we're Trinidad. But that's the bullshit that we have to settle for. Limited overs cricket and a hope in hell in a sports game is the closest we come to feeling like citizens of a country. There is nothing in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have to settle for bullshit and memes. We have to say, well, we are the happiest people in the world because we have doubles. Fire truck that. We need to be the happiest people in the world because when you turn 18, you can get a job. And when you get a job, you get a loan. You get a loan, you buy a house. And when you buy a house, you raise your family. All the crime will be done. Daddy will be home. Mommy will be home. The bullshit have to done, and it's only going to done. I have to tell this guy today, I say, listen, Philip Edward Alexander is an asshole. I know that. I will be the first person to tell you, I'm a jackass. I quit to call people jackass. I'm a jackass too. But you need to ask yourself, should I give this asshole a chance to run the country? Those other assholes have been running it into the ground for the past 55 years. What do I have to show for it? And neither of those two jackasses, the Clown Prince of Lekoto and Darumai, neither of them have a policy, one single policy that you could take away from their conversation and say, you know what? These two jackasses care about the people of this country. Not one. Kamala never had one. Kamala's first mission was fix yourself, fix your finances, fix your members, and consolidate power. That was her first mission. What was for the people, Kamala? Kuva Hospital, miss me with that bullshit. Kuva Hospital is rape without grease. Kuva Hospital could have built 10 hospitals, but all you know you was following Manning. And you run on that run. Between Kuva Hospital and what you did with that highway, if we don't have justice, we have to tell ourselves, go to sleep. Because we need to fall asleep at night knowing that somehow, somewhere, they're going to have payment. Somewhere, somehow, we want to believe that people will be brought to justice. Because it's insane to think that so much wrong could be done for so long in this country and nobody be brought to held and brought to justice. What has either government ever done? Look at the people of Carnage. A mountain of garbage. Keith Rowley, you stink and dirty. You have done people living around a mound of garbage, brother, and you playing DJ on the radio. You see, you are a curse. You are like pestilence. Keith Rowley, you are the sickness people they dread. They dread going to the doctor and find out, yeah, you have it. You have Keith Rowley. And a terminal. That's what he is. He is a nasty, nasty man. Keith Rowley, you stink and dirty. Go and see how you have people in Carnage living. You are the member of parliament for the area for 31 years. And you're the freaking prime minister. And you're only glorifying yourself all over the place. You stink and dirty man. But whatever it is, have you in all them trips to the hospital and telling you this, all the clown prince of Lekoto you feel you is, and sending spirit lash for people because we have that video. All that nonsense you want to talk, you need to understand, brother, that pendulum swings 2 ways. How to come back? How to come back? Yeah? I'll calm down. Secure the people. How do you secure the people? A maritime security wall that ends the drug trade. You see, the cocaine barons that live among us, that pretend that somehow they are good and decent people, don't want me to talk about the maritime security wall. But Gary Griffith will tell you that it's been on the Ministry of National Security's desk for about 20 years now. And we know that the solution to the drug trade is the maritime security wall. The maritime security wall is a repurposing of 6 oil barges, equidistant, 3 miles out, around Trinidad and Tobago, connected by a 360-degree radar that sees into Brazil, it sees into Florida, it's massive. Nothing can move that we can see. 360-degree radar connecting these 6 bases. What you've made are 6 bases out in the ocean. Each of those bases equipped with communications and armory and sleeping quarters for customs, soldiers, police, immigration, fast interceptor boats, helicopter landing pad, gunship, 6 gunships. You see, if you stop the drugs coming into Trinidad and Tobago, you will lower the temperature of the crime in Trinidad and Tobago. All of a sudden, people say, but them criminals had to find something to do. Let me tell you, under a progressive empowerment party government, the criminals have 2 choices. Find legitimate employment or find yourself in a cage. And do not take up arms against the government, because we'll put you in the ground. And we will plant a flower. So at least in passing, you contribute something good to society. Make no mistake, we're not coming to negotiate with terrorists, you know. Don't feel we're going to sit down and say, well, use the gang and use the community leader for this area. Fire truck that. We want stability. We want lawfulness. We want you. All that energy you put into all that criminal enterprise, brother, turn that around. Learn to stir kurma and fudge. Find yourself driving for Uber. Go and get a job selling cloth in town. Choose. But the crime thing, done. See this thing, people making a joke, man, writing bandit on their passport application. Kya, kya, kya. That's funny. No problem. Funny. But all joke have an end. The maritime security wall, once operational, will create a virtual line in the sea, 3 miles out from Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing, no marine craft. So nobody can jump in their fancy Bertram and yacht club, drive to Colombia and bring back a cooler full of cocaine. Worse, nobody can drive their yacht down into the South American mainland and swap out one of their gas tanks, come back packed with cocaine. Nobody checking them. Go in one of them boatyard and swap it out, and men and women riding up and down Carana's main road on bicycle, moving stocks. I know. Well, I feel I don't know. We know it works. We know who work in it. We know how to fix it. Give it a chance. If you stop the drug trade in Trinidad and Tobago, you stop the gun trade. And when you stop the gun trade, you will be, Clown Prince of Lekoto say we have 30,000 guns in Trinidad. That there is what? $1,000 a gun. That's $30 million. Put that in the budget. $30 million for reward paid to police officers, Coast Guard officers, soldiers, men and women of law enforcement. Only them bringing the guns. I don't care if you bring the man with the gun. This is a country where police make a bus in the middle of a field. They find a rifle, 2 pistols, some marijuana, a little bit of cocaine, and that bus was made because Casper the friendly ghost and Snuffleupagus was having a party and they left their stuff behind. No problem. We take that bullshit too. But all that have to done. All that have to done. If you stop the drug trade, the gun trade stops automatically. The guns come with the drugs. You stop that, that's done. The 30,000 guns Raul said that have in Trinidad, we'll clean that up. We will tell police you are getting $1,000 a gun. But when that announcement is made, we are also telling the people of Trinidad and Tobago, do not get caught with an illegal gun. Zero tolerance on guns mean an immediate 6-month incarceration. We will take you out of circulation. All the guns that you collect, we will be smelting them publicly with a live feed camera so the country could see. Count down 30,000 to 0. Let me see how good he was with his stock check. Kitos. And your 3 ministers of national security that know the stock, the inventory of illegal guns in the country, but don't know how to take them out of circulation. You see you're playing smart with people, and you have the copy and paste media selling them this foolishness. Anyway, calm down. Stick up in. The maritime security war will end the drug trade, it will end the gun trade, it will end human trafficking. 3 most important things gone. Right, but what about the people who smuggling through the port? I'm glad you asked. Because we've been told and we've suspected it was accidental, we just found out it is deliberate, that 40%, almost half of the containers that come through this narco state, come through unchecked. And stunt Aquaman who was swimming, didn't they say he is the one who don't want to sign off on the scanners that the United States here, look, take it free, stop the bacchanal now, scan all the containers on the port. They say he has signed it, and nobody knows how to use the phrase, a matter of national security, override him, put the scanners to work. But all of them on games, all of that is a circus, all of that is to fool you. I could blame Duke, so we hands clean, and Duke could be a clown, make we don't have scanners, and we all go away. But that's not how you run a country. So this is what we propose. We want to literally move the Port of Spain to Point Lisas, to a facility 5 times the size. 2/3 of it will be for unstuffing your containers. You will unstuff every container on the port. You will do it under camera surveillance so we can backtrack and check if any of our immigration officers taking things under the side to pass through washing machine packed with cocaine and tires packed with cocaine and dog food packed with AK-47 and AR-15. We could fix that. So if you unstuff all the containers on the port and you build the maritime security wall, well, Trinidad borders just locked down. Because you can't bring nothing in unchecked. You can't. We just solved all the problems. We just stopped the drug trade. We just stopped the gun trade. We just stopped the human trafficking. And we freed up about $1 billion worth of prime real estate between Hyatt and Movietown. Fantastic suggestion, Philip. Copying that. But that's just the maritime security wall. If you do that and you end the guns coming into the country and you put the $30 million into the system and you say, we will pay police and law enforcement, we will pay law enforcement bonuses and rewards, all of a sudden guns come out of circulation. So crime takes a nosedive. But that's not all. We want to deal with the police service. We want to remove all of those police stations, put some police posts so police officers have a place to go. But we want to remove all those police stations, and every constituency will get a command center, a police command center. And when you go to work and you go on shift, you find out that today, for the next 8 hours, you will be working these 6 streets. And every police officer will find out what their role is for the shift. So now you break up the constituency by street and you give every police officer 6 streets, that's yours, 5 streets, that's yours. And then for every 10 police officers, you give them a cruiser, a car, 2 officers. You now, so you have 60 streets as a cruiser. You cruise up and down, use backup. You're 3 minutes away from any of your officers who need help. Now look at that. The people in the community now get to know you, you get to know them, both of you all know who they belong. You're exchanging cell phone numbers with the man, with the bar, with the tire shop, with the parlor. You know, people who you're telling them, if you see anything out of the ordinary, just call me now. So you gotta call, hey, I see that man here, he looking kind of strange. I never see him in the community. He on so-and-so street riding on the road on a bicycle. Let's give you a heads up. So you know to look, and you know to call for backup, and backup come. And you'll stop Mr. Gentleman on the bicycle. You check his bags, and you check his pockets, and you see what you're doing in there. and you come to, and you have a reason, and you're good and you're right, and you're wrong, and they lock you up one time and they take you away because you have a concealed weapon or whatever. But that's how you run security, and that's just dispatch. We ain't talk about zero tolerance on crime yet. We ain't talk about 21st century policing or broken windows. We ain't talk about virtual policing. We ain't talk about community policing, and all of those things have to happen. And all of a sudden, the entire community become part of your security for each other, linked inextricably through security. And all of a sudden, the people are secure. So we could cut out the wrought iron and throw it in the sea. Throw it away. Throw away the wrought iron. So when you open your window, you don't have to look at the sky through bars. So we just solve security. And we say, okay, so we secure you. Now, if you have a job, once you have a job, you could own a home. We will link Unit Trust, First Citizens Bank, and the Home Mortgage Bank to ensure and make sure that every single person who has a job could own a home. Up to $1.5 million, zero deposit, zero interest, 30 years. But Philip, where you get it? Because just before I go down that part, that is $500 a month per $100,000 as your mortgage payment. And a KFC cashier and a Subway sandwich artist and an amalgamated security guard could afford a home. $500 per $100,000. So you're telling them this is what you could afford. That's the threshold. Zero deposit, zero interest. But Philip, we're getting houses for $1.5 million. We will work together with the private sector and we will work together with the public sector to ensure that there is enough incentive to build starter homes in the country. You must be able to go to a hardware and say, I qualify for a loan, I have a piece of land, I want to build a house. And they give you everything you need to put up a starter home, $100,000. And that exists in the world. We're not reinventing the wheel. So people could own their home and they're safe. All of a sudden, this thing's starting to make sense. So I own a home and I'm safe, I have my job, I meet a nice girl in the party last night, we fall in love, we get married, good. We make some children, time pass, and we want to send them to school. But we thinking we don't have a car and we don't have to drive to Chaguanas or San Fernando. No, because the Progressive Empowerment Party has zoned all the schools. Your child is going to school within your community, but I want a prestige school. All schools are prestige schools because all children have a grade point average. And we will set a national average based on the curriculum, based on targets, based on goals, based on best practices, based on professionalism, based on world targets. And we want to work with Finland, who has the #1 education system in the world. Finland tells you, don't take the bright out of the stream because you don't help them and you don't help the stream. So you get everybody to work together and we will do that. So you give them the GPA and if the national target is 4.0, then every child's target is 4.0. So now the teacher knows that if every child in their class gets 4.0, then the teacher's average is 4.0. And every teacher who hits the national average should get a massive bonus. Massive. You get all 25 children to do the national average, got $50,000, like yourself. You must be able to reward people on a massive scale. Give them so much incentive. They will take night and make day. They will sit with the slowest child and pull them along. It's not so. Let me show you how to do it. And all of a sudden, everybody getting pushed forward together. And in a quick time, 5 years pass, and we have children coming out of the school functionally literate, not illiterate, literate, ready to take off into the stratosphere. They've spent 10 years because we've abolished the SEA. And all of our schools are 10-year schools in the community where you live. So they've grown up from the age of 4 and 5 with these 24 other children who are now friends for life. You've just knit that community together. Now they don't have to escape. Mommy and daddy have a home. Over the years, daddy got a promotion. Mommy was selling kurma and sponge cake. And we add 2 rooms to the house and the house looking nice. And all of a sudden, the family working out. And these children who are of age want to become university degreed professionals. There's a list of things that the country needs. We need doctors, pilots, lawyers, engineers, architects. All of the things that we need as a country, we will offer you free tertiary education. Free. And you will come back and work for the government after, work for the state, work for the country, and work it off for 3 to 5 years. And your debt is paid to society. You're a professional. Now you're not looking to buy no small house. You're buying a big house. You qualify for $1.5 million because you're a doctor. And you get your starter home. And we repeat the process going forward. But all of a sudden, we now have a nation that is functional and works. And that is education, home ownership, security. But what about healthcare? A scorpion bite my child in the yard, and we didn't have a car, and we called the ambulance, and they never came, or they took 2 hours, no. There is a healthcare center in all 41 constituencies. We're building one in each. And each of those healthcare facilities will be 24-hour accident and emergency facilities, full triage, full casualty. There is nothing that you could have that they can't deal with, even if it is to stabilize you, and using their dedicated ambulance attached to that accident, to that healthcare facility, and take you to a bigger hospital if they have something that they can handle, because they will have minor surgery suite. So all of a sudden, healthcare is minutes away. I videotaped a woman who had to die. 5 minutes from Cocorite Hospital, West Shore Hospital, St. James Hospital. 1 minute from Four Roads Fire Station. Why? Because the ambulances weren't available. And citizens on a Friday evening pumped her chest for 45 minutes, trying to keep her alive. Again, suggestions, I love that. But we're touching on the 5 things: security, home ownership, education, healthcare. Now your health and your family safe. Now let's talk about food. Trinidad has some acreages of fertile land. We want to take all of them. We want to go back and reclaim all of the farmland that has been repurposed for other nonsense. Move out of there, we want to grow with food. Because I keep saying, food independence is the only independence that is going to matter in the world in a couple of years, not too distant future. You will remember me saying this, you know. You will remember me saying this, because food independence is going to be the only independence that matters. And what we want to do is take all of the available fertile food growing land and vest it in a marketing company. And the purpose of this marketing company is to identify the consumption trends and the patterns in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to know all the things we eat that we could grow here and how much of it we eat. So we find out we grow 50 tons of this, we eat 50 tons of this, 75 tons of that, 250 tons of this. We also have to deal with the issue of we import a lot of wheat flour, but we can grow cassava. Forget Lekoto crumpets. You can make cassava flour. It's one of my favorite things that I buy at Maria's Bakery is a half and half. So even if we could mix the cassava and the white flour half and half, we save half the money we spend in overseas flour. And let's get to a place where, so now this marketing company knows that Trinidadians eat this. And they will identify on the map the best places to grow each of those things. And now you are a farmer, they will advertise for farmers. Farmers, come in, we want to work with you. You're a farmer and you come in. You do not need a single cent. We will sit you down, give you a course. We want to tell you, these are the 5 things that you could grow. You could grow plantain, pimento, pomsite, pawpaw, or pineapple. Pick one. And you say, I want to grow pineapple. And we'll put you in a pineapple course. So you learn how to grow pineapple. 3 quick weeks. And you come out of there, I'm a farmer and I could grow pineapple. Good. We're giving you this acre here. Starting you off with 1 acre. This is everything you need to grow a crop of pineapple on an acre. It'll be ready in 9 months. We are buying the entire crop from you for this price here per pound. So you work out the maths and you say, for 9 months I can make $122,000. I'm going. The yield could be plus or minus 20%. So you're working overtime to make sure it's the plus 20%, so you bump that 120,000 to 150. You're living well. You're doing well. You don't have to buy the land. You don't have to pay a rent for the land. You're not getting a deed or a lease. You're getting nothing for the land. But for as long as you're working with that marketing company, and it could be for 100 years, and that's the agreement you will sign, you will be working that farm. That will be your land to work. And if you are successful, and you want to expand, you get your name on a list. I would like to grow more than 1 acre. Maybe I'd like to try 2 or 3. And as you are successful, we will work with you. Because as long as your yield match, and it's called land use policy, once your yield matches what you have to work, we happy. This marketing agency now would receive all of the produce, because the marketing agency is vested with the funding to buy the crops from all of the farmers and sell it to Trinidad and Tobago through wholesale and retail markets. So a pimento is $4.80 a pound wholesale and $5.20 a pound retail. So the same price you're paying in the market, you're paying in high-low. And if you prefer to shop in high-low, high-low will come and buy it for $4.80 and sell it for $5.20, make a nice little profit, and everybody live. And the price of food will come through the floor, and we will save billions of dollars in foreign exchange. And we will become food self-sufficient. In fact, if the plan works, because there are so many modern food growing processes now, you could actually double up and triple up the production on land. Now there are vertical farming, and there's actually farming equipment now that accelerates the growth cycle in food. Not chemicals. It's just light and water, light and water. It literally shortens the day. So what would take 24 hours, the plant thing happen in 12. Light and water. So the plant grows faster. The yield is bigger. No chemicals. Just manipulating light and water. All of a sudden now, you have a minimum wage job, but you own your own home. Your children getting a good education. They're safe. They're secure. Cost of living nice. What do you need again? Between February and March is carnival, like yourself. Trinidad will work. There are other things we talk about. We say we want to replace, we want to abolish, hear the word? We're not playing with the words, we're not skirting around it. We want to abolish the THA. Tobago need to decide. Tobago either comes in as a full member of the unitary state, because if it does, we will immediately make the sea bridge free, and we'll be working very hard at getting a proper land bridge. Yeah? A proper bridge between Trinidad and Tobago, but immediately the sea bridge will be free. So we're talking now, Tobago, come on board as a full member, 40 and 41 of the 41 constituencies, the last 2. Come on board as a full member, and we will make sure the price of a brick, a block, and a banana in Tobago is the same as the price of a brick and a block and a banana in Trinidad, because the cost to ship to Tobago will be subsidized by the state, as it should have been always. Plus, Tobago will be given the opportunity to do its own imports. It shouldn't have to pass through Trinidad. You're supposed to have companies in Tobago importing food or whatever it needs to import to Tobago, for Tobago, into Tobago. Why double ship? Why bring it to Trinidad and then ship it to Tobago? That never made sense to me. But then, I'm not one of the monkeys running the circus. What we plan to do, if Tobago wants to come on board, we will make sure agriculture and tourism universities will be set up in Tobago to make it possible for Tobagonians to choose between those 2 professions, or if they want to do doctor, lawyer, whatever, they come to Trinidad. But we will make sure, because Tobago led the world at a time in cocoa production, and Tobago could be a massive earner for this country in food and tourism, and we need to support it. Fishing, game fishing big in Tobago. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But we're talking about these things here that make it possible for Tobagonians to have a life and a future again. Because once the economy in Tobago bubbling, and tourism is a bubbling economy, you're supposed to be able to build a marina 10 miles long, bring in cruise ships by the mile, reward them for coming to Tobago, bring them into the island, because cruise tourism is the biggest tourism in the world right now. And this is the tropics. They've seen all the rest of the bacchanal, but sea, sun, and sand will always sell. And they want to come here. Dave Lux has seen your audio command. Everybody else say they get in the audio. Reboot your system. The truth of the matter is, Tobago has been treated as a stepchild and a bastard child, and we need to undo that. But the only fastest way to do that is to abolish the THA. So the THA is gone, Tobago is Tobago East, Tobago West, 2 constituencies, and all the people treated like the rest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Full citizens, full rights, they benefit from all the things we spoke about earlier. We want to abolish the local government. That nonsense, that failed nonsense that we copied and pasted from Westminster, throw that away. It is a waste of time, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of effort. It overlaps, it delivers nothing, and it's just a waste. Get rid of the local government. So we've abolished the THA. We're abolishing local government. We want to abolish the regional health authorities. That is just cancer and corruption. Get rid of it. We want to abolish how the police service is set up now. Each constituency will have its own its own police command center. Each constituency. Those things, when they're abolished, they will be replaced by a constituency board of supervisors. A supervisor of health, a supervisor of education, a supervisor of security, a supervisor of public works, and a supervisor of public utility. All of a sudden, you have people in responsible positions within the constituency, responsible for the conditions of everything in the country, in the constituency. Yeah? Anybody else having problems with the audio? And you need to let me know now, because we will bring it to a close. We only have 9 more minutes anyway. Audio good in Quebec. So maybe it's just Trinidad. As far as St. George, I'm playing with the audio controls and flow. I can't do nothing about that. Yeah. The Constituency Board of Supervisors will take over the responsibility to run each constituency. You will now have semi-autonomous regions. Tobago West, Tobago East, Diego Martin West, Diego Martin Northeast, San Fernando West, San Fernando East, all semi-autonomous districts responsible for their own upkeep, responsible for their own management and development. Every year, the national budget will divide hundreds of millions of dollars based on requirements per constituency to the constituency, to that board of supervisors. They will be responsible. You can't have corruption taking place with one central Minister of Works or one Minister of Public Utilities or one Minister of Education. Those days done. What you would have is within your constituency somebody responsible for health, somebody responsible for security, somebody responsible for education, etc. Those 5 key important things that will help you have a life. The other things that the Progressive Empowerment Party wants to deal with is undo and redo. We have 2 ampersands, well 3 actually, citizen and family, hope and opportunity, undo and redo. Undo and redo literally wants to, you see how the court system, shut it down, start it over. And we don't want to write heretofore, replace by wherein after, abolish all, redo it. Start from scratch. It is a broken system. It cannot manage itself and it's become a joke. And we have to face that. The entire system of justice. What takes place in our prisons have to be undone and redone. We need to treat people, you do not take away people's human rights because they've run afoul of the law. And that's a kind of mad concept we have. We have this idea that you must beat children until they're stupid, that's how they just learn. That is nonsense. And if people run afoul of the law, your role is supposed to be retool and retrain and put them back into society as functional people. Not make them hateful, vengeful, like what took place with that woman and that little boy. I hear that was people who come out of jail, just come straight there to kill that woman. Undo and redo that. Undo and redo it completely because it's important. We need recall legislation desperately so that you could fire everybody. You must be able to fire the president. You must be able to fire the chief justice. You must be able to fire the prime minister. You must be able to fire these people because they need to remember who they work for. They need to remember that the paycheck that they get at the end of every month, whoever signature it is, they left out a little piece. It says, on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That's who's signing your check. And you don't remember because you're getting jobs for life. We must undo and redo. You must be able to fire any public servant. And the fact that we can't is half of the problems in Trinidad and Tobago. We want to bring referendums. So all of the key issues and the big issues, abortion, child marriage, I can't believe that is a big issue, but decriminalizing drugs, marijuana, who is our final court of appeal, those things, abolishing the office of the president, is a waste of time and we don't need it. Those things need to be decided by the people, and a referendum is like a vote, it's like an election. You put an issue out to referendum, you ask the people, should we hang convicted murderers? And you put that out as an election with a 3-month cycle, and all those for capital punishment will campaign, and all those who are against capital punishment will campaign. And all the people of Trinidad and Tobago who are minded to vote will go out and vote. And when the results come back in, we will say 71% of the people say hang convicted murderers, empty death row. Because it is not you to sit down and discuss it. You've been instructed. That is the closest you get to direct democracy. The people of the country have instructed you that they want capital punishment enforced. Empty death row. Empty it. And yes, I desperately want us to decriminalize marijuana so we could grow it as a food, as a crop, as a commercial crop, and sell it to the states and everywhere else that have decriminalized it and using it for medical purposes and whatever. And maybe we want to use it for medical purposes here too, because I understand that it helps. Of course, you have to take all of the research and we have to bring everybody into that conversation. But I'm saying to you that we can't keep ignoring these issues, and we certainly can't keep locking up little black hen chicken for 2 joints when people high up in society, when they get held with the same 2 joints, is get up. You should know better. And that's a 2-tiered justice system, and that have to stop. Has to stop. Every creed and race must find an equal place, equity in front of every office of state. But we stick a pin in there because we run out of time. The things we want to talk about: recall referendum, campaign finance reform. Campaign finance legislation means that you have arbitrary figure, $100,000 to spend per constituency per campaign. That means if I am running for elections and I only have $100,000 to spend, and it is proven that I spend more than $100,000, disqualify me. Disqualify me. So I have no incentive to cheat. Disqualify those who abuse the rules. And that makes sense. And the last one, which other people call procurement legislation, we want to go a step further. We want to redo the tenders process. We want to put a whole system in place with rotating panels of judges. We want to shut down all of the special purpose companies. We want to make sure and repurpose national insurance back to its first remit. And it can invest, but it must invest for a profit. And if it doesn't, then you have to fire the board, because the board is responsible for the people who put them there to protect their money. Again, that is a whole other conversation. Tonight, I just wanted to touch on all of these issues. You all know this Saturday at noon, we're having a meeting, 19 Stanmore Avenue. You know that we're having next week, Saturday, opposite Starlight Shopping Plaza in the Starlight Car Park. We're having a meeting in Diego Martin West for all the people in Diego Martin West and environs. But wherever you are in Trinidad, you could come. But it's a Diego Martin West meeting. We just had Point Fortin last week, Saturday, and 2 weeks before that we were in Tunapuna. And we are continuing to go everywhere we could, all the constituencies, every 2 weeks. We may slow down when it comes to the Christmas carnival season, because you have to pick your days inside of there. But we're trying to hold to get ourselves into every constituency and make representation. I understand we have 22 pins on our national map. We're aiming for 41. The Progressive Empowerment Party wants to be a national political party. We need at least a caretaker in every constituency. If you are minded to get involved with anything that you heard me talk about tonight, and you want to drill it right down to the constituency level and make your constituency better, come on board. Ken Biscom is on the thread, but you could reach out to Felicia or Lima or Giselle or any of the other members, Misty. You see them, plenty of them on the thread talking PEP issues, right? peptrinbago@gmail.com. If you don't see any of them, you don't want to message them, send us an email, peptrinbago@gmail.com, and say, I would like to get involved. I'd like to join the party. I would like to be a constituency caretaker. Just send us that email, peptrinbago@gmail.com. We have an app. You can get it on the Google site. You can get it on the Apple site. And the app is PEP APP. space between them. You get that, download that, you get notifications, you get directions to where we have in public meetings, and you get the calendar of events. Plus, you also get updates, pep talks, and that kind of stuff. You get out there. We have a website, peptt.com. Check it out. Get accustomed to using it. Again, you get all the updates there. We have a newsletter coming out just now. We're working on that. We will let you know when that's being launched. And finally, how you like that? Let's read some of these messages. When I hear listen after, I'll see if there was problems with the audio. Let's put our country together again. Terminate the rain. All of you who are foreign-based Trinis, you know that you can reach out to Abigail, Carla Jean, John Paul in Florida, Ali G in New York City. Ali G is the person to reach out to wherever you are in the world, and she will help get you set up with a team, or she will make you into the team. So if you're foreign-based and you want to get involved with PP outside, reach out to Ali G. We're really trying to avoid the bacchanal. We're really trying to avoid the mark busing thing. We've been busing mark in this country for 50 years and it's not helping us. We can't continue to have that kind of conversation. Who's zooming who and who's Zami and who. We're not done. I'm not interested in that. Today I had to share the information that Anand Ramlogan was arrested, but I just put the basic information. The rest you would have had to find through the news cycle, I guess. But we don't want to be bacchanalists. You have enough bacchanalists, you have enough clowns, you have enough stuntmen, you have enough people talking absolute, utter bullshit. We want to tell you, and I had to tell this guy in the gym tonight, we want to give you the tools so that you know how a country is supposed to work, how this country is supposed to work. We want to arm you for conversation with anybody. You don't have to vote for us, but you will talk to people from other parties and you're going to have to be able to say, hey, what's your plan for home ownership? What's your plan for education? What's your plan for healthcare? What's your plan for national security? What's your plan for food production? And you'll be able to contrast and compare that with what you know of what can be done. Are you going to institute recall legislation? It is a simple act of parliament. Kamala took 5 years to dance around the issue. We tell you we will do it on our first day. Yeah? Get ready. Tell Kid Rowley, TikTok. Kamla, TikTok. We don't want it no more. Don't tell me. We don't want to hear. You had your chance. Don't tell us which is the lesser evil. We don't want no evil at all. Tell them. Tell them we don't want to hear. Don't come near we. No. You had your chance. Don't tell us what coulda, woulda, shoulda. You had your chance. We gave you an opportunity. We vested our trust in you. Kamla, Keith, all of the bandit clan around you. We gave you a shot. You said you had a plan. The only plans you all had seem to have been to enrich yourself and friends and family. We're not interested. Get ready. TikTok. We're done.
People must come first. Citizens by right.
Citizens by right.
None of we are worse.
None of we are worse.
Yellow, black, or white.
Yellow, black, white, brown, green, red, orange, purple, lilac. Food, shelter, clothes, free movement, speech, a garden that grows, and one law for each.
If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, if it is that avarice
Is all they seem to know.
when you're voting, if it is their politics, it's just a puppy show. When elections day come,
All bandit must go.
register and if they don't see,
Right.
finger and
I'm gonna have to watch the whole video now and see what was the outcome with the new system, with the iPad. We have options. Tomorrow we are going to be trying with, it's tomorrow night? Tomorrow's Wednesday. We're going to be trying with B-Mobile because B-Mobile has given us unlimited data. So we're going to compare that against what we already have and see what's better. So we have all those options happening and bubbling. You will tell me what you all thought about the actual change and we will go forward from there. Yes? We have Independence Holiday, I think it's Thursday, and I want you to pay special attention. This is our 55th anniversary of independence. Look around Trinidad and Tobago, just with a critical eye, not to talk, not to make bacchanal. Don't come back to me with it, but just look at the conditions of people's homes. Look at the conditions of the street. Look at the conditions of the sidewalk. Just drive around, look at your city. Look at what passes for street lights, traffic lights. Just take a look. Take a look and see how they maintain things like community centers, if you're lucky enough to have a community center. Just look with a critical eye and see if you see $3 trillion. We've spent $750 billion in the last 15 years. Look for it. That's $750,000 million. Tell me if you're seeing it. And don't say is CPEP and URP, because that's $1 billion a year. At worst, that's $15 billion. And they don't have no carry to pay anymore. Where the rest of the money gone? They thief your money. They thief your money. And to the minister who I put up them 2 houses for, who break down Metal House up in Goodwood Park. Yes, you, Mr. Minister, you're going to answer where you get our money from. You're going to answer. Trinidadians have a right to know because you were a member of government. But we will talk again soon. And we will ask you and plenty more like you. And those of you who cannot answer, you see, I'm not Faris, you know. Faris want to go after spinning rims and gold teeth. I want to go after the deep pockets. But stick a pin in that. Stay safe, Trinidad. Till tomorrow.